Thank you, Clara, for your kind words. I really appreciate it. And welcome all to our Customer Day 2021. This is your day. It's actually a series of 9 sessions in 3 days, as we did last year during the pandemic. So thank you for attending. The fact that you're here means a lot to us. It means that you value SAP Business One as a resource and as a tool to use to run your business. So we really appreciate it for your support and for your confidence in consensus. The first thing I do when I start a presentation like this is talk about our values. When I was preparing this introduction, I started thinking about the values. They haven't changed in so many years. We're always customer centric. We want to do what is right for the customer. We want to be supporting our customer as a team. And that is super critical for us. So everybody knows that our customers are everybody's customers in consensus. We support each other. We are empathetic and kind. We are creative and professional. We share the challenges. We learn from each other. We support each other. And something important is that honesty and integrity, those are values that we live day in and day out. So you all know probably that Consensus has 31 years in the market. We started the company with a couple that is very, very close to us, Adriana Monsalvi and her husband, Eduardo Rios, my wife, Lina Maria, and me. We started to meet, and as they say, in a napkin in a restaurant, we put together what we wanted to do out of Consensus, and we started Consensus on the 20th of February of 1990 in Colombia, and since then it's been a great journey for all of us. But I was reflecting, what was going on in 1990. In 1990, a lot of things happened. First of all, the Germans United, which was previously split between the Western countries, part of it, and the other part was managed and controlled by the Soviet Union. But the Soviet Union collapsed in 2007. So that opened up the opportunity for the two Germanies to become one country again, as it was before the Second World War. Nelson Mandela, who I admire a lot, was released from prison. We have so much to learn from him. Every time I read a book or an article or one of his speeches, those are really inspiring and so relevant, every time. A lot of, the countries controlled and dominated by the Soviet Union or were part of the Soviet Union gain independence. And the first ones were the Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. Who gained independence in 1990, and then soon after, the other countries controlled or dominated, Ukraine, Georgia, and some others. And countries like Hungary, Czech Republic, or Czechoslovakia, as it was called at that time, getting independence as well, or got full release from the Soviet Union. That was great for them as well, as they became democratic. And something that also happened from the technology side that is really relevant is that Sir Tim Berners-Lee, born in the UK but living in Switzerland, created foundation for the internet. So he's the one who wrote, all the protocols for the URL, XML, HTML, all those things that we use and see on the internet was invented by him. He just wanted to connect all the computers together because he said, this is crazy. I have to log into multiple computers every time that I need to find something. We need to have a way of connecting all the computers and sharing information between them. So that's how he invented the internet. But as he said, in the economic forum, as the web reshapes our world, which it did, by the way, we all know that, right? We have the responsibility of using it well. Any tool could be used well or bad. We have to be responsible to let everybody access to it, but it has to be done for the good of the public in general. Anyway, after 7 years of continuous growth of Consensus in Colombia, when Colombia went through some tough times with the drug lords, who place a war against the government, democratic government that we have always had in Colombia, fortunately. I decided to move to the US with my 3 kids because I wanted them to increase the probability of them to grow older. So yeah, I decided to come back, and fortunately the situation in Colombia improved after we left, and Colombia became very stable economically and politically as well. That was great. And we're so happy that it happened. Anyway, I moved to the US early in 1990, and just a couple of weeks after being here in the US, my good friend John Liebel offered me the position of Latin American division director for the company that I was representing in Colombia, Macola Software. So I had great experience working for Macola for those years when I moved to the US. But after 10 years, I decided to go back to my roots, and found Consensus International together with my brother Mauricio, who's my colleague as well, computer systems engineer as well, and my partner Benjamin Archila, who was running Consensus Colombia, a young engineer that I hired the first year when I started Consensus in 1990 in Colombia. So today he's my partner who runs the operation in Colombia. He's a great friend that I really admire a lot, and the person that share our values as well. So yeah, we're very happy about it, and we continue to grow both in Colombia as well as in the US. Anyway, yeah, was a great year when I started Consensus with my partners Mauricio and Benjamin, and in that year as well we had some great inventions, right? The iPhone was introduced by Steve Jobs, first iPhone in 2007, early in January, a month before we officially started operating as Consensus, which was in February of 2007. And in that year also, Elon Musk launched or announced the Tesla Roadster in the car shows around the US. So he said, the cars of the future are going to be built with this type of technology. They're going to be electrical. We need to stop burning fuel, fossil fuel. And we all know the story of Tesla. But not all was great news. We also had some crises, a critical, important crisis. The housing market bubble that lasted for 3 years, from 2008 to 2011. And it came together with the automotive crisis as well at the same time. And later on, there was a series of crises and economic events, not only in the US, but also in the European Union, when Greece defaulted on the debt, and later on Spain, Italy, Portugal. So there were a lot of huge crises. And then there were some more in Latin America in different years after 2007. And we also remember those huge economic crises, cash crisis, banking crisis in Asia that affected many countries, and also the Russian economic financial crisis as well. So yeah, there were a lot of crises through the years that affected the global economy, but still, businesses continue to grow and expand and invent new products and all of that, until we came to the famous 2020, the year of the pandemic, a crisis that affected the whole world. If you remember that, how it was in mid-March in the US, where everybody started to shut down and close businesses, close offices, working remote. Nobody knew what was going to happen. The effects, were coming, in a domino effect. The stock market crashed, unemployment, small businesses closing, the whole industries like tourism, hospitality collapsed as well. Nobody was traveling, but people stayed home, and they ended up having more disposable income, and started investing or spending money in different things, different to what they used to do in the past. So businesses were affected. We all know that. Either they change or they have to switch. As I say, sometimes the tactics dictate strategy. You see a switch on demand or consumer wishes or practices, and you have to do something about it. So let me give you an example of those. And I have many examples that we could tell you about from our customers. One of our customers in the small appliances market space, they used to sell only to, or mostly to department stores, huge department stores. They saw that those department stores were closed. So they started selling online. And they started getting the sales or the orders from the big stores from their websites. So they had to make a quick switch in the way of operations. First, they said, we're in trouble. We're going to end up with a lot of stock. Nobody's going to buy this. But people, being at home, decided to change their small appliances, the coffee maker or the, anything that they do, the slow cooker, the air fryer, all those devices, they were spending more time at home enjoying cooking. So, let's use this opportunity and improve our devices, our home appliances. So our customers started getting more orders, more units being shipped out, but instead of just shipping a few orders, large orders a day, they ended up shipping hundreds of orders of 1 or 2 devices at a time, which was great. They increased sales. But in order to cope up with the demand, they needed to automate a lot of processes. So we got involved, helped them out, streamlining all the processes of printing documentation, streamlining the process of picking and packing, and they were able to grow. So they ended up having a better year than expected actually. And that, again, I could tell you a few stories like that that happened to many of our customers. So we're so glad that we were able to help them out. So anyway, this was kind of the standard. And after a great or very critical outlook of the year 2020, yes, there was a decrease in the GDP, the gross domestic product, which is basically a measure of the monetary value of all the goods and services that are produced by country, was decreased only by 2.3%. And the outlook for 2021, which is about to finish, is 5.6%. And in 2022 is going to be 4%. So yeah, business was affected, but it changed a lot, but it's looking a lot better now. What we did from our side in order to cope with all these changes, we added new resources in customer-centric functions like support and consulting. We also filter initiatives from SAP that are being used by large corporations that you're going to be able to benefit from in the small and medium-sized businesses as occur normally. And we also developed some training tools and videos for onboarding new employees from our customers. We have provided training tools, videos, etc. So there are a lot of resources for you to use, and we are going to continue developing those and making those available in our webpage. But something really important we did also, we added the customer advocate or customer experience department led by Clara Custodio. Clara is the person to talk to every time you want to suggest a new way of doing something, or if you're not getting the attention or the service that you need, or you have something urgent, please reach out to her. She's not billable. It's an investment that we do in resources like her and other people in the company to help you, get the most out of our resources in consulting and support as well. So in addition to that, we have also in the last year added what is called the assessment for businesses. We've done that for multiple customers. And what we want to do basically is identify the gap between what SAP can do and how SAP is being used. You need requirements, you have new business processes, new challenges, and SAP is implemented to support something different or that is not exactly what you need as of today. We'll be glad to make a proposal for you to do an assessment, review the processes, identify those gaps, and especially train the users have been involved in the initial implementations of SAP Business One, so they really get to know the tool as they should have and get the most out of it. Again, maybe switching, changing settings in SAP that were valid when the system was implemented. So, count on us. You have a great tool, the best in the market. We'll be glad to help you out to get the most out of it. Thanks a lot for your time and enjoy the rest of the conference.
To talk about the market trends in the near future, we need to go back. We need to see what happened over the past year and a half. And of course, we're talking about the pandemic and what it revealed, what was happening in the market or in the business world. Some of you might remember that the vision that SAP put out for small and medium-sized companies was a vision for the intelligent enterprise. Specifically, we embraced this vision and looked for something or three elements that were critical. One of them, to make sure that we support the business processes that you work in. The other thing is we need to make sure that you as a company enhance the market or the experience of your of your employees. I'm sorry. And last but not least, of course, extend that experience or reach more customers that are working with you. Now, what does the intelligent enterprise cover? What does it mean? It has three major elements. From the bottom up, it has the digital platform. In the digital platform, we're talking about cloud embracing. We're talking about big data, of course, and the intelligent systems. And intelligent systems, and we presented this last year also, we're talking about analytics. And these are capabilities that the HANA version from SAP brings out of the box. The other things are the Internet of Things. And in the Internet of Things, there's nothing different from connecting your solutions, your SAP, to sensors, to buttons, to dashes, to anything that has some type of processor that could help in this process of automation and reaching more customers, if you will. And of course, the AIML in the middle of this chart, which means the artificial intelligence or machine learning. And we're going to be talking a little bit about at least one of them. In the artificial intelligence, we're looking at processes within SAP Business One, the latest material requirement planning tools in version 10. Machine learnings, these are tools that with the latest development allow both SAP and add-ons to learn for different patterns and apply those patterns into future decision-making processes. One of the solutions that we're going to be presenting over the next few minutes has machine learning capabilities. But the truth of the fact is, what the pandemic revealed is that the intelligence suite, your ERP, your SAP Business One, all your processes, your e-commerce sites and the like, are not necessarily appropriately connected. The level of automation that companies have today, it's not par with what we need or what is required from our companies. We need to make sure that all of our processes, as much as possible, are as automated as possible. There is a very little manual and paper-based or Excel-based type of processes intervention. Anything that is heavy on that, it's costing you a lot of money, and the competitive advantage that you're trying to reach is significantly affected. So before you move into very sophisticated tools, if you will, we need to make sure that your digital core, every single aspect within your processes, are as automated as possible on one end, and on the other end, you are as integrated as possible, whether it is forward integration with your e-commerce for your accessing your customers, or your e-commerce platforms for your B2B operation, and of course backward integration with your vendors, for instance, either through EDI. Let's take a look at a couple of tools that will allow you significantly to improve your digital core, to improve the intelligence suite, so that you can automate as much as possible. And today, there are a number of solutions out there that are quite generic in essence, and that allow you to improve significantly automation, that also allows you to increase the experience of your customers, and of course, of your employees, and of course, your customers, if that is the case. These tools do several things. One of them, the one that I'm talking about specifically, it's a mobile set of tools, web-based and mobile apps that allow you to improve your sales processes, augment capabilities on your CRM, customer relationship management, automate your purchasing internal processes with approvals and the like, improve accounting processes internally. This is something that not much has been supported, if you will. This will increase its capabilities as well. Not only that, but expense management, inventory capabilities, and of course, service. For those of you who provide after the sale service, there are a number of tools that are very powerful in this case. I'm talking about a solution called Enterprise. Let's take a look at what Enterprise can help your digital core to improve, again, your internal employees experience, your automation, and of course, eventually, your customers' experience.
Are you looking to implement SAP Business One in your company? Or do you already have it, but you want to know how to get more out of it? Well, let me introduce Enterprise. Enterprise is the solution for the companies that need information mobility, process optimization, and more ROI. How does it work? Through a web interface with 8 different modules that integrate with 8 different apps. Easy to use, intuitive, seamlessly integrated to SAP Business One, and the best of all, we connect you in minutes. But that is not all. Are you ready to meet our integrations? Enterprise's ecosystem has a banking integration that connects to your bank account to reconcile simply and gets transactions notifications. Our AP automation integration scan or email purchase invoices to match transactions and auto-create transactions. B2B portal. Give your B2B customers access to their data and allow them to create orders and service calls. Enterprises POS. Step retail quickly and easily in one integrated solution. Shopify integration POS. Manage your retail store with Shopify POS, integrated for stock and revenue control. Shopify e-commerce and Amazon. Integrate with Shopify for online sales. Use Shopify to connect to Amazon. Stripe. Take credit card payments on mobile browser. Avalara. Manage US taxes accurately, guaranteed. Square POS. Integrate inventory, create invoices, and take payments. Square Pay. Take payments via mobile or browser. And finally, connect your SPO to synchronize your data so it can be accessed in the cloud or can connect to Enterprise. All right, let me show you how it works. This is Enterprise Web's interface. One enterprise license contains the 8 modules that you see in the left-hand side: accounting, CRM, company, sales, purchasing, service, expenses, items, and banking. Each user will be parameterized with user permissions, so they will only have access to their module that is relevant to their role. In the home screen, they will be able to have a transaction feed where they will see the documents relevant to their role that are being created within enterprise. They will also be able to manage their daily activities. These activities can either be created by themselves or by other and assigned to them. They will have a notification feed as well. Their favorite business partners, that could be customers, suppliers, or prospects. And they can also have shortcuts here in the bottom part. They will only need to choose which are the documents that they have to access the most within the daily basis, and the shortcuts will be created. I will go really quick through each of the modules because we don't have much time. However, if you need any information, I will give you my email address so that we can have a proper and more extensive demo. In the accounting module, we will be able to access all the accounting data. We will be able to download the general accounting reports, and then we will also have all the information that we have in SAP. Remember that Enterprise is seamlessly integrated with SAP Business One. So whatever we see here is the same that we will see over there. In the CRM module, we will be able to have both dashboards with all of the performance of our sales team, and our sales team will be able to manage the opportunities they're working with. They will be also able to create quotes. These quotes can be created item quotes or service quotes. They will also have access to the stock levels, which is very important, especially when we have salespeople on the field. In the companies module, we will have the history of all of our business partners. So if I choose one of our business partners, we will be able to see how many leads we have created, quotes, orders, deliveries, returns, invoices, reserve invoices, credit notes, incoming payments, service calls, or activities. Also, we can see the account balance and what are the documents that are affecting that account balance, as well as clicking in them and checking them. Then we will also be able to see the overdue invoices, just everything in one screen. Then we will have a company report. This company report can be downloaded to a Excel as well as the customer contacts. And we can customize our columns so we can choose what is relevant for us and just drag and drop. Then we can download it. In the sales module, we can continue the sales process from the quotes to the delivery planning. Here, we can also see some dashboards that we can filter by period, by value, by product group, or by salesperson. Then we can also choose what KPIs are relevant to our role and what are the top sales. This one, we can also filter it by period, value, or by customers or sales representative. Here we can see what are the sales value by product group. And once again, we have our activities calendar. We also have a delivery planning button that will allow us to connect with our delivery people. We only need to choose the name of the person, and in the bottom side, we will be able to see their calendar. In the left-hand side, we have the open documents that can be either sales orders or deliveries, and we can just drag and drop all of the documents that we want to schedule for each of our delivery people. They will be able to see their calendars from their phone, take pictures, or even signatures. These ones will be added to the document, and that will be able to be seen both in SAP Business One or in Enterprise. In the purchasing module, we have all the purchasing processes where every request needs to be approved before creating the proper document in SAP, as well as every order needs to be previously approved, unless it comes from a previous request that was approved. Also, we have this invoice automation, which is one of our latest developments that allows our suppliers to send all of their invoices to one specific email. Our OCR will read it and will create the corresponding document. As we can see here, the document that our supplier sent is attached to the document. And here in the bottom part, we will see all of the different lines, and we can also choose the related documents for every line. This OCR has also machine learning. So this will allow our software to learn everything about your suppliers. So if you change something, let's say that this is not an item invoice, but a service invoice, the next time that you receive an invoice from this supplier, our system will create a service invoice. And the same with every other change that you make within the platform. Finally, we have this small MRP that will allow us to see what are the suggestions to purchase for each of our products. So here we can see that, for example, the platform is telling us that we should buy 3,336 hoodies. And it is also telling us which supplier to choose. So if I only say that I'm going to purchase 80 and I click here, then I'll be able to create the order and automatically I will have a purchase order. All right, I'll go to the next module, the service module. This service module is usually used by companies that provide warranties or that their product is actually a service. So basically, they will be able to create new service calls and also see the status of each service call here. And then we have the service planning, which will allow them to communicate with the technicians on field. Once again, we choose the name of the technician, we will be able to see their calendar, and in the left-hand side, we will be able to see all of the open service calls. We drag and drop, and then our technician will be scheduled with that specific service call. They will be also able to capture pictures and signatures, as well as different user fields that they will be able to where they will be able to put specific information according to what the company needs. In the expenses module, we will be able to add all of the different expenses from the different employees, and we can choose who paid it, if it was the employee or the company, if it is something that should be billed to the customer. And once it is uploaded to the platform, it should be approved by somebody else, and then we will be able to create the corresponding document to make the payment. In the items, we will be able to see all of the information corresponding to our stock. We will have different reports with all of the information corresponding to the stock, what is in stock, what's committed on purchase or available. We can do stock transfers, see goods adjust in, goods adjust out, and more information. Then in the banking integration, we will be able to integrate your bank feed so that you will be able to do automatic reconciliations. This is only available for United States and Canada. Finally, I'm going to show you our B2B portal. In this portal, our customers will be able to see and access the different documents that are open in our system, from quotes to sales orders, sales delivery, sales invoices, and sales credit notes. They will be also able to create new sales orders, and they can pay their invoices through the platform with our Stripe integration. They can also see the service calls that they've done. They can either be open or closed, and they can create new service calls. They can see their statement and download it to a PDF. Our point of sale, it's very easy to use. We will be able to see all of the products that we're selling, add them to the cart, charge, choose the type of payment, make the payment, and then we will have the corresponding document created in our enterprise platform /SAP. Finally, we have the Shopify integration, where the customer can choose between either creating reserve invoices, sales invoices, or sales orders once their customers are shopping on their e-commerce, we will automatically create the corresponding document. Also, we will affect their stock in the warehouse that they choose. And then we can also choose a specific sales price. Are you ready to see what's new? Let me show you. Enterprise ecosystem has different integrations. First, there's the banking integration. Connect your bank account to reconcile simply and get transactions notifications. AP automation. Scan or email purchase invoice to match transactions and auto create transactions. B2B portal. Give B2B customers access to their data and allow them to create orders and service calls. Enterprise POS. Step retail quickly and easily in one integrated solution. Shopify integration, POS. Manage your retail stores with Shopify POS, integrated for stock and revenue control. Shopify e-commerce with Amazon. Integrate with Shopify for online sales. Use Shopify to connect to Amazon. Stripe. Take credit card payments on mobile and browser. Avalara. Manage US taxes accurately, guaranteed. Square. POS. Integrate inventory, create invoices, and take payments. Pay. Take payments via mobile or browser. And finally, connect SPO to synchronize your data so it can be accessed in the cloud or can connect to enterprise. The first development that I'm going to show you is the item reordering. It allows the system to suggest reorder quantities based on minimum, maximum levels in stock, committed, and on order for each item. This development will help you replenish stock quicker and create multiple orders at once and automatically approved. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a product group. I've already chosen this warehouse and I'm going to go ahead and apply the filters. I can see here all my items as well as all of the information that I've previously stated. And here I can see the suggested quantity as well as the suggested supplier. So if I take, for example, the hoodie, it is telling me that I should reorder 3,208. So I'm going to go ahead and order those 8. And I'm going to choose that supplier that the system is telling me. And I'm going to click on this box and I'm going to create an order. So just in seconds, we will have a purchase order with all of the information of the item that I've previously chosen. 8 hoodies and all of the information just in seconds. All right, I'm going to go to our second development, which is the invoice automation. This gives you the ability to scan a purchase invoice, parse it via OCR, and create a resulting pending invoice within Enterprise, fully integrated and automatically through email. It can also be done manually. So basically, our software will give you a specific email where your suppliers can send their invoices or where you can send all of the invoices that you receive from your suppliers. And this is what you will receive: a report with notifications and actions required. If there's no action required, I can go ahead and approve it immediately. But if there's an action required, I'll show you how it looks. So basically, we will see the original document or the invoice that was sent by our supplier in our document. So here we see what was the invoice. And here we can see what the OCR read. I can relay documents. So here I will see all of the open documents with this item. And I can do it for each item. And then here is telling me that it's missing a tax code. So one of the best things of this development is that it has machine learning. So every change that I make, let's say I change this tax code, or maybe it is not an item invoice, but a service invoice. The next time that I upload one invoice from this same supplier, our system will recognize it and will create a service invoice or the corresponding tax codes. So every time it will be easier and faster to create purchase invoices. This is our second development. Now I'm going to go to the expenses module. And this is very similar to what I've already showed you. And it's basically that we will be able to add receipts, and the OCR will bring the dates and the amounts, but the user will need to ensure that the information is correct. Also, if the supplier is registered on Enterprise, then the name of the supplier will appear in the bottom part. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload one invoice, this one. I'll show it to you in a sec. Upload. And what we will see is that immediately our OCR will read the information. And here we can see the amount of the receipt and our supplier. Now I'll be able to choose what is the type of expense. Let's say this one. I can add a project code, a project name, if I paid off the the company paid, if it is billable for a customer. I can change the currency, and then the software will automatically calculate the exchange rate. I'll be able to write the city as well as the country. And I've already dropped the document, so I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now my expense is ready for approval. Now, the third development is our global search, which will speed up the search of documents, especially when we're managing a lot of documents, a lot of companies, a lot of transactions. So we can either write down the number of a transaction and we will immediately have it here, or maybe just write down the name of a company as the one that I was previously searching, which is Three Little. And then I click on enter and I already have the Three Little Pigs company, and the same with people and items. So these are our latest developments. Remember that we have 8 modules that are included within a enterprise license, and 3 integrations, which is the point of sale, our B2B portal, and our Shopify integration. If you need any further information or a deeper demo, please do not hesitate in contacting me. I'm going to leave my details at the end of the presentation. Have a good day.
Many thanks to the enterprise team, but we truly appreciate what you shared with us. And for those of you who have used enterprise tools in the past, there were, as you saw, significant enhancements, specifically in the automation of AP invoices, for instance, of that integration. That is very cool tools. Now, that is one step. The other step, as I mentioned before, is we need to concentrate on business automations per se. And there is a very interesting tool that some of you have used called BPA. BPA stands for Business Process Automation, and Business Process Automation, it's a fantastic platform, and we'd call it in the past a middleware. And as I mentioned, allows you to automate internal processes. Not only that, but do optimizations in the workflow within a specific process, and furthermore within different processes in your internal operations. It allows you to automate, even though SAP has significant tools in terms of alerts and notifications, controls as well. You can do what I mentioned in the beginning. You need to make sure that you are integrated. You are integrated, either forward or backward integrated. And BPA has a number of tools that allow you to integrate pretty much with anything and everything. And we have Joel Cannon from BPA Platforms, and he's going to be giving you an introduction to what BPA can do for you and what were the latest developments from codeless platforms in this interesting, important tool.
Hello, Mauricio, and thank you very much for that introduction. My name is Joel Cannon, and I'm the Sales and Marketing Manager here at Fisher Technology, and I'm here representing Consensus for BPA Platform. Now, just to quickly go over a couple of very high-level things, what is BPA Platform? So BPA Platform, or Business Process Automation Platform, is a tool set that allows integration to take place between various different pieces of software that you may be using right now, including SAP Business One. The advantage of doing something like an integration is that it allows seamless connection between your ERP, SAP Business One, and things like e-commerce, as well as CRMs, as well as e-commerce platforms, and a whole bunch of others. And I'll go through those in a little bit more detail. But before I do, I kind of want to just highlight something that Mauricio touched on, and that is the expansion of the idea of the digital transformation with the enterprise side as well. And so when we're talking about digital transformation here at Fisher Technology, specifically what we mean is that we take all of your existing business processes and we allow them an expanded and more defined version of the existing workflows that you already have. But putting them into a digital landscape allows added layers of complexity without human error. And the beautiful thing with this is that it gives you the opportunity to take a look at your existing business processes and enhance them. And for those of you who are already using BPA Platform, maybe now is a really good reminder to take a look at some of those existing business processes you have and potentially expand them through your digital transformation journey. So what is it exactly that we connect to? As I lightly touched on just a second ago, we do connect SAP Business One up to a very wide range of different softwares, including things like Salesforce, HubSpot, MailChimp, Shopify, any e-commerce people out there, BigCommerce, you can carry on that list. There's a whole bunch of different things that we can connect into, as well as all of your major reporting softwares. So Crystal Reports, SQL Server Reports. We can also do things in Microsoft Exchange. You basically name it. We probably have the capability of getting into the API for it. So what we mean by integration, obviously, is by taking two existing pieces of software and allowing them to talk to each other, as basically us acting as the middleware between the two. So what we do is we take the two sides of the API and we expand them and allow us to communicate between the two. And we do that with some pre-built connectors that we have already in our inventory, but we also can do it with a whole wide range of customized APIs, including REST APIs and SOAP APIs. The cool thing is, with the web APIs that we actually have access to nowadays, we also have the capability from now of also expanding into the GraphQL API space. So if you have more complex engines that are running on more modern scripts, we can absolutely connect into those now. And this is just an example of how we can expand both of those data sets to allow communication to take place between the two. And it's a very easy workflow. It's literally point and click that allows the systems to connect to each other. And you can see that we've got some connections already established between the two systems, allowing the information to seamlessly flow from one to another. And this is what it looks like actually within BPA Platform itself. So when we talk about workflows here at Fisher Technology, essentially what we're talking about is a very core process, an input, an actual process that takes place, and an output. But when we're talking about workflows, specifically in the context of BPA Platform, what we're speaking about is its ability to handle what we call tasks. And tasks essentially are a way of us to validate information that comes into our system, to get it into a format that is protected, so all of your data is actually kept, all the integrity is still there, and then it allows us to actually output it into all kinds of different areas. So we have an input step, we have a sort transform step, We then stage it to protect that data, as I mentioned, and then we can process it and do basically anything with it on the other side. So in the case of sending out an email request, as an example, so we have a timed calendar alert that's going to pull information from the system. We're going to sort that information out, and then we're going to process that information in such a way that we can send that information by email. And this is a really good example of how a Shopify is just an example of a Shopify connection, how we actually make regular validation steps. Obviously, in a world now, especially in more modern times, where we have to do several validation steps for tax codes, all of that takes place behind the scenes. So it's something that you never actually have to worry about. Of course, it's not the only thing that BPA has the power to do. It's also got a very complex alerts and notification system in the back end, allowing you to do very easy things, in this case, checking an inventory by SMS text message or an email. But it also has the added complexity that we can actually expand this step. And if we wanted to, we could actually have this reach out to the purchasing team to authorize an additional purchase for this particular query. Other things that we can do in the meantime is we can do things like automated reporting and documentation. So pick reports, pick lists. If you guys are big warehouse people, doesn't this start ringing some bells? Now, one thing that I will mention on this slide is those who do use BPA currently, think about some potential ways where we could expand your current library of tasks to add some of these more complex reports to your weekly schedule. Are you guys consolidating any reports at the moment manually? Think about some of the ways that BPA could potentially take some of those headaches away from you. And I'm going to kind of tail it off at this point and hand it back off to Mauricio for the next presenter. But one of the things that I wanted to leave you with today is that there's always a process that you currently have that can easily be optimized, easily be integrated, and allow a manual step to be eliminated from your workflow. And I implore you to take a look and really think about the number of hours of manual tasks that you are currently doing for order entry purposes, report management, and even sending out emails to the purchasing team at your company to make authorized orders on particular product lines. Think about some of those ways where we could basically expand your library of what you are able to do and get it done. 2022 is going to be a really exciting year for a lot of people moving into the digital space, and I think there's a lot of room for BPA to fit within that. And again, if you have any questions at all, please field them to the team at Consensus, and they will be happy to pass your information over to us to get you guys onto BPA platform. Mauricio, once again, thank you very, very much for the opportunity today to speak on behalf of BPA, and I will hand it back off to you. Thanks again.
Many thanks, Joel, and our colleagues from Enterprise, Monica. We truly appreciate your support. We wanted to bring to you two, not niche, not specific tools that concentrate on one specific platform. These are tools that allow you to enhance the experience of your internal employees, allow you to automate processes internally, and integrate with outside e-commerce sites or outside solutions. Getting exchange rates automatically. That's what BPA can do, and of course, enhancing the capabilities of your mobile resources out in the field. So closing, I please encourage you that to do an introversion, take a look at your internal processes, see how much paper you're using, take a look at what processes are based on Excel or on paper and pencil. Let's work together. Let's make sure that we can automate these processes as much as possible so that we can move your companies a lot closer to the in the digital transformation continuum into the intelligent enterprise. Thank you.